What do you like with your brats, huh? I like it all. Peppers and onions are the key though, okay? So we'll do some peppers, some onions, and some garlic. Get this moving around. I chopped that bacon up a bunch because I want it to kind of render down fast, and I want all of that great bacon flavor to dissolve into this mixture. So, green bell, red bell, big onion, peppers, onions, bacon in, get a couple cloves of garlic. I've got enough moisture in there, I don't have to worry about this really burning, and I'm also just gonna give these a quick little chop. And in a second, I'll deglaze this with some beer once it starts to caramelize up. Now we're into the peppers, the onions, the bacon. We're right at that point where we can go ahead and hit this with a little deglaze, and we'll grab ourselves a couple lagers. Now, you got your favorite kind of beer you like to cook with. Like I said, I just want to make sure that the beer that I'm cooking with isn't going to overpower. It's going to complement. Okay, so we get in with a little bit of lager. One. That I learned in school. Okay. You could just smell the hoppiness of that going on right now. Now we'll get in with some chicken stock. I got some fresh herbs over here, some thyme, some rosemary. Okay, so a couple sprigs of that. Not that much. Remember, rosemary's super strong. So rosemary, thyme, and of course, this wouldn't be complete without a little bay leaf. So look at this. Look at those bad boys right there. Gorgeous, okay? Now this is something you're not gonna see me do often, but I'm gonna do it here and I'll explain why. I'm gonna poke these with this skewer all the way through these sausages. What I want this to do is while it cooks, I want the sausage to share its flavor in this braising liquid with these veggies, and I want the veggies to share their flavor with the brats, okay? So those look pretty good. I'll just put these back in the no, come on. See people do that. Okay, let me grab a pair of tongs. Submerge them down in the liquid. Remember, we got the chicken stock, bacon, the two bottles of lager in there, the peppers, the onions, the rosemary, the thyme, the garlic. I mean, the flavor profile that's going on in here is nuts. Everybody's in, maybe 15 minutes, we'll be in good shape. Now I'm gonna pull them out, let them cool a bit, slice them, and then throw them on the grill to build some awesome texture. Just give them a quick little slice. It's like 1, 2, 3, roll it. 1, 2, 3. Sausage or grilling, I can shut these down and actually start pulling them off. I braised them in the liquid, then I pulled them out, let them cool a little bit, sliced them, grilled them to get that extra little charred texture. Final piece here, make sure my heat's off. We're gonna get in some whole grain mustard. Now this was my braising liquid. We started with bacon, rendering that down. Then we had peppers, onions, garlic. Then we threw in some thyme. I mean, we had beer going there too. We had 2 bottles of lager. Put all this butter in there as well. Outrageous. A little parsley going in here. Here's the brats. So they kind of shared their juices with this. So you've got cooked down onions and bacon and these herbs and everybody together. Now, ready? First we'll go down with a couple sausage. Hit a little bit of this mixture of the cooked down onions and peppers. The bacon, the peppers, onions, you cook that down, you could put it on anything. I'm gonna make a relish that's gonna go on this danger dog. What is a danger dog? What is a danger dog? I'm gonna stuff jalapenos inside of a hot dog and wrap it in bacon and then put this righteous relish on top of it. Say it, righteous relish. Okay, so here's what I did is I broke down half the pineapple, a little veg oil, this thing is smoking hot. Okay, on we go with the pineapple. Save a piece for me. Nice little grill marks, not looking to cook it, just kind of put a little char to it. Take this big spoon, so I took the center seed out. I'm just gonna kind of get this right inside, twist it around, and this is super ripe. Pull all that flesh out. Let's get back to making the rest of this relish that's gonna go on top. So pickle relish, some jalapeno, little Fresno chili or red jalapeno. Fresno's a little bit spicier. Red onion, and some lemon juice, okay? Let's see what we're looking like here. Beautiful. So a little jalapeno. I like the Fresno, I want the heat. Get this jalapeno jalapeno slices down. Okay. Put that. Bowl. Now we'll get a little bit of lemon juice in there, a little acid from that. A little bit of olive oil. Touch of some salt and pepper. Go. A little bit of the relish. There we go. And a little lemon juice. Like this. A little squeeze, that's a little bit of acid there for it. Lime juice would work great too. You got onions, peppers, a little bit of relish, but to dial it down and calm it down. Kind of stuck mango. Took the core of this out, and that char is going to be perfect. Those are nice and soft. There we go. Okay. That in. This is some nice applewood smoked bacon and a super hot. There's the jalapeno. I cut out the round a touch. I got a jalapeno strip, okay? So here's what's gonna happen. These are gonna cook, really just warm up, get all those flavors. We've got a hot dog, all beef dog, stuffed with jalapenos, wrapped in bacon, all put together. Check this out. We're gonna hit some mustard, this killer relish that I made starting off with some relish, some jalapenos, some red Fresno chilies, a little bit of grilled pineapple. Now we'll just hit some mustard on top, your favorite mustard. There's also a little grilled mango in there. Okay, look at this, huh? A little red onion. Now we'll get this delicious, now this had a chance to kind of set up a little bit. Check out the beautiful colors on that. Right on top. So the Danger Dog has got the jalapeno in it, wrapped in the applewood smoked bacon, and then grilled off, kind of give it a chance to render down, kind of, you know, the dogs, you know, they come out of the package, they're kind of soft. This kind of toughens them up a little bit. So they got some great texture. Tell me that doesn't look awesome. Look at that bad boy. Just like I'm in the streets of Tijuana. It's everything. Spicy, salty, sweet. I mean, if you ever told me you could get umami in a dog, that is it. But that's the time of the year. Through the course of the last few weeks, I have showed you some of my favorite recipes. I mean, some of the favorites, some of the ones that we love to do at the Fieri house or up here at the ranch, but I pulled out all the stops. And I'm gonna show you one of the OG, old school, #1 recipes that we do at Guy's Burger Joint. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Today, you get to learn about my signature cheeseburger. You ready? Now, it's just because we're hanging and we're cool that I'm gonna teach you this. You should do me a favor. Don't go telling everybody about it. Just keep it on the DL. First thing we're gonna start off with is, wait for it, donkey sauce. Yes, the infamous donkey sauce. You wanna know how it came about? I was getting ready to make these burgers for some friends of ours. We were putting this burger concept together, and they said, why do you call it donkey sauce? And I said, because if you don't try it, well, you're just a jackass. But thank you very much. That's for donkey, that's the real name. I'm not kidding you. So here's how we're gonna start it off. First, just a little bit of mayonnaise. Some roasted garlic. Yellow mustard. I know. You're seeing it all. A little Worcestershire sauce. Touch of some salt. Cracked black pepper. So everything you love about mayonnaise, the fat, the creaminess, the saltiness, all we did was amp it up and take the flavor another level. That's donkey sauce. All right, donkey sauce is done. What do we need next? The SMC, the super melted cheese. You gotta promise you're not gonna show anybody this. Now, in this pot, I have a little bit of water already going. Now I'm gonna add some half and half. This, we gotta go low and slow. I have some processed cheese, all cubed up, and we're gonna bring this temperature up nice and easy so it doesn't break. We'll go in with a little bit of Worcestershire and just a little kiss of some Tabasco. It's not gonna be hot, but you get the idea. We need to just have a little bit of heat in there, okay? So we're gonna let this go low and slow. And as that processed cheese starts to melt a little bit, we're gonna add in some of my other favorite cheeses. You could go with a double boiler with this. I don't think it's necessary. If you just don't crank the heat, you won't burn it, you won't scorch it. Just take your time. Processed cheese starting to melt a little bit. Now we're gonna back it up with some real cheese. We're gonna get in some smoked Gouda. And again, we shred it really thin and give it a chance to melt nicely. We'll get in with some cheddar, shredded really finely. Whisk would also be a nice thing to do, but as always, I just have one utensil. If I could make this into a knife and a fork and a pair of tongs all at the same time, like a gigantic Swiss Army knife, tell you, I'd be going places. A little provolone. There we go. Now it's really starting to work for us. Beautiful. Now, one of the real keys to this cheese sauce is to hand shred it so you don't get that funky little dust that they put on the outside of the cheese to keep it from coagulating when it's inside the bag. I mean, I'll tell you one thing about buying cheese. Buy that whole block and shred it yourself. We'll just keep the cheese sauce warm. It's ready to go. Beautiful. Okay, next up, the burger. Now, what we have here is 80-20 ground beef. And when we're talking about making great burgers, if I'm getting everybody over and we're gonna do it, I would recommend going to the butcher and saying, grind me up a little bit of brisket, give me some short rib, and give me some chuck. If you're gonna do it right. We've got about a pound and a half here, so this should make us about 4 6-ounce patties. My favorite way to do it, just to make sure that we're keeping everybody even, because you know with two boys, if you don't make the patties even, someone's gonna be upset that someone got a bigger one. Okay, so we take the patty, we're gonna ball it up. Don't press it super hard. Now, I want you to just I want you to do this at home. I want you to just hit that salt all the way around. Roll that salt all the way around with your favorite kosher salt, and it's seasoned. No pepper, nothing else, just like this. I have my flat top over here, but since I know that you might not have one at home, I want to show you how to do this with a cast iron. If you don't have cast iron, I want you to go get one. Sporting goods stores have them galore. Go to Camp Chef, anybody's got them. But really good cast iron is the way to go, and we're gonna drop this down. There we go, that's what we're looking for, okay? Cold meat hot pan. While that's going, wash my hands real quick. Smash of the patty. Seasoned all the way around. One over the top. Sometimes you'll see people do it with a big hand press. That's what I'm looking for. And you only get to smash it once, folks. Brioche bun. Get a little bit of this garlic butter on there. As soon as we see some of the juice float to the top, we're gonna flip it and try to put it in another spot where it wasn't just exactly at. And that's what we're looking for, that nice crust, that Maillard effect on top. Smoky smells burgers. We're gonna treat both sides of the bun. Now, gotta get this working real quick. Gonna take some of the cheese sauce. This is a little hot, so it's gonna run a bit on us, but you'll get the general idea. When it cools down, it's a little bit easier to apply to it. I'm gonna take the cheese sauce, throw it right up on top. Throw the cheese on top. Dome and some water. This steam is gonna help melt that cheese better than any salamander putting it under the broiler. So like this. This is just the exact way we do it in the restaurant. Guy's Kitchen and Bar, Guy's Burger Joint, you go on Carnival Cruise Lines, you watch what they're doing. This is exactly how it goes down. Okay? A little bit of the donkey sauce. Liberally, we call it coast to coast. Want to get that fat all the way across. Hit a few pickles right on the bottom. Pickles are key, gotta have that acid, gotta have that tang. Really thin onions. Okay. That's what I'm talking about. That's melted cheese, right on top of it. Thin sliced iceberg lettuce, a couple thin sliced tomatoes, nice toasted brioche bun. And ladies and gentlemen, that's the burger. That cheeseburger right there, we won New York City Food and Wine Festival, Burger Bash. We've sold hundreds of thousands of these. But I want you to take a look at it. Juicy, scratch-made, handmade. My mouth is watering so bad. Are you ready? I gotta be honest with you. It's a simple burger. It's a simple recipe. You just gotta use great ingredients, and you gotta follow the rules. You gotta serve it just like we do at the restaurant. I'm giving you all I got, folks. Hope you dig it. Go home and make it. I know you're gonna love it. See you next week. Let's make this rub that we're gonna put on the chops, okay? The cast of characters. Little ground cumin, okay? That's gonna take kind of the lead in this. So a little bit of cumin. Just a touch of paprika. A lot of time when I'm making rubs, like for blackening spice, paprika takes the big lead. This is just gonna get a touch, some nice color coming out of this. There we go. And believe it or not, the whole thing of cayenne. No, I'm just kidding. Just a touch of cayenne. There we go. And some salt. Okay? So we kind of mix that together. Now, what I'm going to do is reserve this. Take about half of this mixture and hold on to it, because that's going to be actually going into our charmula sauce, which is going to have some fresh herbs in it and some lemon juice. You're going to love this. Okay? Get about half of that here. There we go. So I got to cut all these, hit them with a little bit of olive oil, sprinkle them with some of that seasoning I just made, let them hang out for about 30 minutes before I put them on the hot grill. You know, when you're battering something, you're doing some Parmesan chicken, you have the dry hand, wet hand. Well, I have the dry hand, lamb hand. One to rub it all in, but I want you to take a look at that. Look at that beautiful chop right there. All rubbed in with that spices. It is gonna be dynamite. Okay, throwing these onto a really hot grill. Now, we've got some cumin in there, a little cayenne, a little bit of paprika. Cut these myself. These are Frenched, meaning cleaning the bone off. And I'm gonna make a charmula sauce for this that you are gonna dig. Okay, gotta keep an eye on those chops. There's a tendency, you know, that people think with lamb and with pork that you really gotta overcook it. And my thing is boy, I wanna have a little pink in the middle. Okay, so in go the onions. Okay, so what I gotta do, I gotta chop up the onions, get some garlic in, the parsley, the cilantro, zest some lemon juice in there. Remember some of that seasoning that I put on the lamb? That goes in. That will be my charmula. Watch this happen. Taste on this. Primo. Not too much salt, that's the key. All right, that's ready to go. Let's see, I got my hash working. Take a look at these chops. My grilled lamb chops with charmula are smoky grilled, tender lamb chops that are simply seasoned and served with a fragrant, spicy Moroccan chamula sauce. It's an outrageously good herb and onion mixture that takes grilled meat to the next level. So here's what we got for you, starting off with the short ribs. Cooked till tender, and then finished on the grill with a red wine barbecue glaze. G is gonna be dropping the mirepoix in here and getting that started. So, G, I've got that preheated for you.
Okay, awesome.
You're working the mirepoix, a little olive oil right there. I've got the short ribs, a little salt and pepper. Let me borrow that for a second, thanks. I'm gonna put down a bit of oil.
Awesome.
G, some oil in there for you.
Thank you, brother.
Seasoned on this side. I'm gonna roll them Season the other side. Look at that. Tell me those aren't gorgeous. This is really what you want to ask your butcher to bring in for you. Holiday season, you could do a bunch of these, sear them off ahead of time, get them into a big pressure cooker. You don't have that, you can roast them off in the oven. Pressure cooker just kind of expedites things. So here we go. We're gonna go fat side down, start that rendering. There we go, so you can see what's going on. This is kind of like beef short rib Tetris.
Yeah, this is like short rib palooza.
There you go. If I was much higher on the side, like if I was in there, you wouldn't be able to sear the short ribs. They'd start to steam each other. But because this is low, this is cast iron, it's smoking hot, it'll work. Okay, G.
Yeah.
So you look at the cut that he put on that. These could be big pieces if you wanted, but this is gonna cook down even faster. Okay, so we're turning that up, and I'm going with all of the sides of the short rib. Takes a little bit of time, and then what I'll do is deglaze into this and dump this into the pot, okay? There we go. We drop this all down. Now, believe it or not, we're gonna be using this stock out of the pressure cooker later, so I'm even gonna dump this in, okay? This is where things are gonna get a little wild. Take a little red wine, deglaze this pan. Watch shell.
3 cups right,
Glaze
Chef.
a little bit of that. I'll pour the rest. How much wine do you think I should put in this?
Let's go
There
hard.
you go. Yeah,
Let's go hard.
it's a whole bottle. Okay, it is the holidays. Okay, so there's a bottle of red wine in there, and again, really good red wine. Deglazing the bottom of this. I could have cooked all of this in the pressure cooker, but there wasn't enough room. And also the pressure cooker, although it's thick, isn't as thick as this cast iron. You really want to build crust, you go to this hot cast iron because it's not gonna, once it gets cold, once you drop those in, it's not gonna cool down to where it kinda sears the other side. It just keeps hammering it the whole time. Okay, now we go in with the deglazed pan. I'm gonna go in with some thyme and some sage. Drop this in. CG here, I just about have them covered, but I'm gonna grab a little of that chicken stock from you, excuse me. Okay, just a little bit more to where I'm about 3/4. Kind of like when we're braising something, just about that amount. Okay, so this is gonna start going. Gee, now here's how I have to do my pot. I have to spin this thing around. Quinoa's finished. I have to spin this thing around and find my mark. See this here?
Right.
See where that scratch is?
Oh, wow,
and that
that's crazy.
scratch is. And you'll see that it starts to build the steam, If it goes too high, yes, it will start to release on itself through this valve. But don't worry about that. You'll be able to get it. Right around medium is where I keep it. This is gonna run for about 45 minutes. You've got the polenta work. I'm gonna shut down the heat here. This is gonna get loud for a second, okay? Just hang tight with me and just think some happy thoughts. Ready? Here we go.
That's the sound of goodness.
We're releasing the steam. We'll give it some little help here. We'll let the pressure out, open it up. It's always scary opening, and I agree. But when you see zero pressure, you know there's no pressure in it. Then we're gonna pull the short ribs out, G, let them cool so they tighten back up, they kind of congeal. We'll take the liquid, we'll strain that out, and then later we'll throw them on the grill and baste them with the sauce. But we gotta make sure that we remember to get this liquid out of the pressure cooker because that's gonna go in the barbecue sauce. I have made a reduction of the sauce that came out of the pressure cooker where I did these short ribs in literally, what, 45 minutes? Ooh. A lot of red wine, all that great flavor, and I reduced it just a little bit, mixed it into the barbecue sauce and brown sugar, a little red wine vinegar, and a little bit of chili flake, and this is gonna go to baste these ribs.
Dude, I remember when you made those that night.
We start grabbing some ribs, laying it down.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit of that thyme. See that? Tightening it up, okay? Be a little drizzle left.
The top.
Huh?
Huh?
What do you think, G?